Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
One fall!
Hey, we're doing pretty good on this, guys.
I can't believe how out of tune that intro is. I really need to record a new. I really need to record a new one. I did not record that one, by the way.
Nah, my other buddy did that for us.
That's okay. What he did was fine. Like, the tone is good. It's just not. He didn't tune the guitar first, which is problematic for when you want to record.
I'm as tone deaf as it gets, so I've got nothing. I just smile and whatever sounds good.
It's okay.
Shit. How we doing this week, guys?
I mean, I watched a lot of bad wrestling, but otherwise, I did pretty good, actually. It was a good week.
Derek, how about you, bud?
I can't say that it was bad wrestling. I'm not sure. Both you guys seem to.
Oh my god! It shit into my eyeball.
No. There was plenty of things to.
Tony Khan shit into this eyeball, and Vince McMahon shit into this eyeball.
You just weren't watching the right stuff.
There were things to watch. I watched all the stuff.
There was like an hour of good stuff. I didn't watch 7 or 8.
Was it Impact? I didn't watch that.
No, I didn't watch that either.
Nobody should watch Impact.
I should probably cancel that subscription.
Did the Good Brothers beat up a midget this week? They should have.
Do they? Which episode number is that?
I don't know. I'm just assuming. It's really stupid. There was a guy that used to flip people with his dick before.
Hey, guys.
What?
Guys.
What?
Could be a lot worse.
It could be. You could be stuck in your basement for 2 weeks.
Who's that? Oh, wait, that's me. That's me. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah, I got diagnosed with the coronavirus this week, there, folks. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm going a little crazy, sitting in my basement.
Don't believe him. He was already crazy.
Yeah, I was already crazy, but I'm a lot more crazy now. I'm gonna be real excited to go back to work. So that should tell you how crazy I actually am.
He messaged us 45 minutes after he had been quarantined to his basement and said, "Guys, this is shit. This is terrible."
I remember that.
I was like, Walt, it's been 45 minutes. He's like, I'm a social person.
I am. I'm a very social creature.
He's a butterfly.
I'm choking on my own beer.
Hey, that's how you know it's the good stuff.
Did you brew it yourself? Your own beer?
No, I breathed it. You shouldn't breathe beer. You fucking idiot.
Oh, shit. So, guys, wrestling this week. I guess we'll just go ahead and we'll talk about the big news coming out of WWE this week.
Let's do that.
All right.
So I guess the USA Network.
Fight you fuckers later. Go on.
I guess the USA Network has called for change after a all-time low record rating this week. So low, in fact, that Dynamite on Wednesday beat Raw in the hour-for-hour slot, as well as the key demographic. Raw, just to put it into perspective, had an average viewership of 1.527 million this week, which was down from their all-time low last week, 12%.
So the thing about Raw is that you earn the rating for what you did last week. Raw last week, 2 weeks ago from today that we're recording this, was boring. It was a sleepy time. So here's my problem with WWE, and then I feel like this is the problem overall with WWE, is that WWE manages to put out 2 to maybe 3 really good hours of programming every week. However, WWE has something to the tune of 7 hours of programming at least every week.
It's 8 if you count Saturday's morning main event or whatever the hell it's called these days.
That doesn't count. Okay, we'll say 8.
And 205 Live.
So that's
Is that
9.
still a thing?
So those are 2
Wow.
hours. Those are 2 hours of not really very good.
No, that doesn't even count.
But
That's fine.
so that doesn't count towards the 2 to 3 hours of good television. But they've got 8 hours, but they only put together like 3 hours of good. So there's like 5 hours of not good. Often enough times, at least 90 minutes of that is on Raw. At least 90 minutes of Raw is terrible. Well, you and I generally watch Raw on Hulu
Yes.
for 90 minutes.
Yes.
And then maybe some spots on YouTube, whatever else maybe didn't get on to Hulu. And truth be told, I like Raw as a product. I think it's good. I think the storylines are good. However, as a live product, as an unedited live product, it suffers because if you watch it live, it's like, God, so many commercials. And not only is it so many commercials, sometimes you'll sit through 15 minutes of commercials and you'll come back to something that's just pure horseshit. And I think that's the problem, really. Like, they've got stuff and they've got guys, and yes, there's COVID, and yes, that's a problem, and all this other stuff. But like, I mean, at this point, WWE has unlimited resources, and they can only sort of on Mondays in a 3-hour time slot fill half of that with anything worth watching, and that's the problem.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. It's to the point now where I don't even think that I've watched Raw live on a Monday. And it was kind of one of those things that, like, I was making sure that I was hitting the DVR every single Monday just so that, once everybody in my family went to sleep, I could sit down and watch the entire 3 hours worth of Monday Night Raw. And I found myself in, I don't know, the last 6 to 8 weeks not even doing that and just picking up Hulu the next day. Because it gives you enough of what you actually need to see, the segments that are going to, promote the pay-per-view and the bigger storylines and things like that. So why watch all the other mid-card and undercard stuff when it's not really creating any kind of buzz or anything like that? So definitely Hulu has been the way to go on that.
Well, and it edits out the filler too.
Yeah, for sure. And like we talked about, I think a couple weeks ago, they kind of mishmash it together, and they make it a better show. It flows
Totally.
a lot better, and things like that. So
When we were kids, Raw was pre-taped, and that's when it was, and even like when it was doing some of its best numbers ever, like in the late 90s, a lot of that was pre-taped and then edited together. And I think that's really what suffers the shit out of it.
yeah, I mean, it's not been good, that's for sure. They've had some flashes and some bright spots, and
I think there's a lot of bright
there.
I think there's a lot of bright. I'm not down on it. I think there's a lot of bright, but I do think that it's so long that there's just too much of it.
So, fellas, basically, from the headline that you read, Walt, about USA is not happy with the current product at this time. What I gather from that is not the amount of quality content. It's the amount of money that they're making from advertisements and the marketing revenue that they're trying to bring in off for buying this channel for. I don't know what USA would have to pay to bring the rights to Raw exclusively to their, customer base, but that's got to be more of what we're talking about, I would assume, because it's got to be coming from a business aspect.
For sure, it's $1 million.
If I'm paying you $5 million, apparently I'm not getting $5 million worth of 3 hours of content.
You're 100% correct. It's definitely about the money. And ratings create money, and that's the long and the short of it here. And the report that I read said that a top USA executive has handed down this order that they want to change on Monday nights. They want to see a more dark and violent style show. So what does that mean? What are you going to do? You're going to put the Fiend in front of us for 3 hours?
No, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, apparently,
he did. He died. I saw that man die.
Yeah, I watched that happen.
But there's a circle. That's also a thing. I'm not sure that we talked about that earlier, that the Fiend seems to be tweeting now to Randy and things.
Well, no. It's Bray that tweeted.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
The Fiend is dead. They're separate people. At some point, they decided they're separate.
It's tough. I'm sorry.
The USA Network gosh. So when Raw's been on USA, except that it stopped and it was on FX for a minute. But like when we were children, when Raw was getting 9 million viewers a week, it was on the USA Network. Now, when it was on the USA Network and getting 9 million viewers a week, we had, Trish Stratus in evening gown matches. We had Sable in bikini matches with just paint. We had Mankind taking chair shots to the head. Bang, bang, bang. We had Chris Benoit also taking chair shots to the head, which, if you're going to point a line, led to a murder-suicide.
Hey, you went over the line. You can't do that.
Ooh.
Vince is gonna
Anyway.
hate you now.
Whatever. He doesn't like me anyway. So there's okay. Oh my God, we want to see blood. We want to see this. We want to see that. Look, I wouldn't mind a little bit of color. I wouldn't mind a little bit of mid 90s stuff. However, here we are in 2020 and they have the best workers ever. I don't want to see them put their workers in danger to facilitate a more edgy product. What I wouldn't hate would be edgy storylines, not necessarily in the sense of like sexy or risque necessarily. I don't need that as a 36-year-old man anymore. I don't get my jollies from that anymore. Maybe as a 13-year-old, maybe that's what they're chasing after. Maybe boobies are the thing. However, I feel like the in-ring product for men and women is through the roof right now, and it's much better.
We're not an 18 to 25 demographic anymore either.
But you know what? Even when I was 18 to 25, that wasn't what I was watching.
Yeah,
when I was 13,
I didn't
14,
mean to argue it. I was just saying, that's part of it. You got to look at that.
I agree. Look, a little bit edgier is fine, and I feel like there's some of that exists, but I think the product as a whole needs to be a little bit leaned up. Kids don't have this like. Having children, kids don't have a very like focused perspective on things. They can't, watch a long turned out storyline. They don't give a crap about callbacks to matches that happened 6 months ago and things like that. Which I know the guys in the ring those are the ones calling that. But as far as storylines are concerned, they need to sort of be simple. They need to be coherent. There needs to be a good guy. There needs to be a bad guy, and that needs to be consistent for something to make sense. And that's part of the problem, is that they sort of kind of book everybody just for whatever works in the storyline, and the only consistent bad guy is generally like Baron Corbin, and Asuka flip-flops all the time. Same thing with Charlotte Flair. Same thing, Roman just flipped, which is great. That's the best storyline there is to tell right now, is Roman Reigns. But on Raw particularly, why was the Fiend the babyface in what happened yesterday?
I mean,
Randy Orton's obviously a heel. I get it, but it's like, what are we?
I mean, the Fiend came over to Monday Night Raw, and they instantly put him in a situation where he's taken out the entire Retribution faction single-handedly, and putting him over as this giant babyface. And while he was on SmackDown, he was booked as a tweener, and he actually led more towards the heel side. But the initial piece of the Fiend's run was so driven to be a heel. But the fans appreciated what he was doing with that character so much that they're the ones that put him over. And they're the ones that started. I mean, you look at it, his title feud with Rollins. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was gonna be. It was like a Stone Cold Steve Austin situation where he was so over that it wasn't gonna matter.
Exactly, and that's. But even still, when he was on SmackDown, they were still booking him as a heel. Now they're trying to book him as a babyface, and it's just not working.
So what they should have done was they should have had him do what they did with The Undertaker and have him crucify the babyface. Pull the guy who is the most over, who is the biggest babyface, who is happy, pull and kill him. Like, not literally, obviously, but do you remember when The Undertaker...
Set him on fire.
Think about how over The Undertaker was in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, that Ministry of Darkness, the Ministry of Darkness was huge.
The Undertaker crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin on live television.
And Stephanie McMahon too.
And Stephanie McMahon. He was a heel. He was the heel of heels. He not only was he a heel, he had a ministry of like despicable characters around him. He had
underling heels.
He had Midian. He had Viscera. He had at one point Edge and Christian for a minute. The Hardy Boys for a minute. I mean, it was like he had despicable like mutants around him. And that's
really needed Gangrel for the whole package there.
Yeah, don't
get
forget
the Hardy Boys, Gangrel, and Edge and Christian. There you go.
This is Gangrel.
Side note,
still doing it.
Side note, how great was that entrance though?
I mean, that was the best. That's the best entrance.
Best entrance
in wrestling.
ever.
I mean, it's never been topped. It's still the best, and they did it like every week. Occasionally, they did it on like Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, you had to convince them to put some money into that thing. Like, I mean, that's not just something you can just go do. I'd assume. I've not done.
They had to have like a lift and fire.
Yeah, there's special spots that will do that. Probably not super common.
A lift and fire.
But
Anyway.
you know, I mean, I don't necessarily think that the Attitude Era is what USA is looking for right now. So, you know, my thing is,
Well,
and
what
we're
do you
not.
want? We've only got a couple options here.
I mean,
Sports entertainment, pal.
but if they're,
Ruthless aggression.
I mean, I feel like they need to get away from the PG rating first of all. If
Well, yeah.
they're going to expand and they're going to get a little bit deeper and a little bit darker. I feel like they need to let people like Bray Wyatt be a little more hands-on in some other storylines. They
Let
need
him be mean.
You know,
Look,
I mean,
you know how Bray would be mean if they let him like. I mean, obviously Alexa Bliss is a trained wrestler and she can take bumps regardless of who fake punches her or not. You want have the Fiend hit a woman.
Yeah, I mean that's not something that we see in WWE.
At 10:30
Ooh,
p.m.
That'll never happen.
Have the Fiend hit a woman and have her get some color.
Could you imagine? Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god!
mean-
Could you imagine the heat though?
Yeah, and I mean, let's
They would be
take
calling. They would be calling to cancel it, and the next week would get 5 million views.
for sure. And you
Look, it would be hot shotted a little bit. I'm just saying. And you know what? Alexa wouldn't even really be hurt because it's wrestling. It's predetermined.
Right.
But I'm saying that's the like. Also, that would be a great way to snap her out of this like. That would be a great twist.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to snap her out of that yet.
Nah,
She's
I
only
would
been
No, I
there
agree.
for what,
Look,
maybe 2 months.
I am
So-
full in with the Alexa with the Fiend, but
Yeah.
Fiend might be dead. That's
The
probably it.
Fiend needs to stop taking losses, man. Honestly, like this
We'll
is
talk
twice
about
now that
this
Randy's
match.
done his. Yeah.
We'll
All
talk
right,
about
yeah.
this because this match was. It wasn't the worst Bray and Randy match ever, but it was a little sus. Anyway,
you know, I mean, but I don't disagree necessarily that there needs to be a little bit of a change of direction on Raw's creative. I mean, let's take a look at this Monday's like spot segments, like the Ascension ceremony with AJ Styles, The Miz, Morrison, and Drew McIntyre. That was a fucking dumpster fire.
I enjoyed that. No.
I mean, no,
It
like
was
that
not-
was trash.
No, you're
Like,
stupid.
it was god awful, Derek. It was god awful,
fine.
and the fact
was
that you're
fucking-
sitting there and you're fucking agreeing with that is ridiculous.
No.
Why don't you go watch some Impact, bro? Okay, seriously, like, get the fuck out of here. Are you dumb?
Are you? Wow.
Are you dumb? Like that's trash
Derek, don't
TV.
leave. Derek,
That's
don't
trash
It was
TV.
entertaining.
There was nothing
is that
leave.
entertaining.
why
Are you
we're
watching
here?
tonight? This is what happened. I haven't watched tonight.
No, this was
No.
last Monday
No, yeah.
before
Last Monday.
the
beginning
go home.
opening segment.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
A
yes.
very Mizzy Christmas. Get the fuck out
Sorry,
of
it's
here.
been a long time.
Get the fuck
yeah,
out of here.
Yeah, it was.
John
Trash.
Morrison is Braveheart.
That seemed like traditional Raw.
He already did that.
He did.
That's the callback that nobody gives a shit about. That's what I was talking about earlier.
I didn't give a
That's
shit
callback.
about it 20 years ago. I don't care about it now.
That wasn't 20 years ago. It was like
I
10.
mean-
it was like 10 years ago.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm off a decade.
Just one whole decade. That's all.
I mean, I'm
All
just
right.
saying, like, Raw was trash.
You guys like
trash.
my You guys like my PlayStation buttons?
Are those coasters?
They're my coasters. Yeah, I have 4.
That's awesome.
They're cute.
Well, I would imagine you would have 4 of them because there's 4 buttons that are different shapes.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Wow.
It's all right.
But I mean, I'm not gonna.
hold
I'm
on.
not. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit here and let you defend Monday Night Raw. I'm just not gonna do it. If I would have sat down on Monday and I would have watched that for 3 hours, I probably would have flipped my TV over and wrecked everything in my house because I would have gone crazy.
I have a controversial statement to make.
Proceed, sir.
Raw was better when Monday Night Rollins was the Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right.
And I miss Seth Rollins.
I do too. I can't wait till he comes back.
I actually mentioned
Me
this
too.
earlier. I don't miss the Buddy Murphy storyline though. I'm over it. Like
I would watch Buddy Murphy wrestle 10 out of 10 times, though, instead of watching Joey Janela, which I'm sure we're going to fight about later.
It was the best match of the week, pal.
Fuck you.
I'm just
there's
saying.
no fucking way.
It was
Fuck
the best
you.
match of
It's
the
the
week.
most bullshit statement he could ever say. He's.
I know, but still,
delusional.
fuck him for saying that because it makes me mad on the inside.
He's just trying to hotshot an episode. He's
I'm not
I know
trying to
what
hot
he's
shot
trying to
shit.
do.
I'm not doing nothing.
He's trying to piss me
Everything
off.
everything
piss me
that
off.
WWE and AEW put in front of us this week was absolute trash.
That's what I said. Everybody took diarrhea into my eyeballs this week. I watched a lot of
Trash.
bad wrestling.
It was trash.
A lot of bad wrestling this week. Although, you know what? I watched that pay-per-view. That pay-per-view was not bad, except...
Pay-per-view was, I'd say, half decent because at first I hated
no,
it.
it was like 90% decent.
Yeah, it was good.
No.
Saved the week for me. Because
Totally.
if I would have had to come in here and shit on TLC too, there would have been a problem. Derek, will you stop sulking, man? Because I said you were dumb. Like
Be nice to Derek. Come on.
What do you mean?
you're pouting. You're pouting because I said you were dumb.
Well, I don't know if chairs
Just because
cure
you're on
cancer.
COVID leave doesn't mean I
Well-
won't drive up there and stab your
Well,
ass.
I don't know if chairs
I didn't
cure
mean that.
COVID.
You know,
I got a
because
chair.
we're going to be on the internet.
You
Please
want to take
edit
a
that
chair
out.
shot? What?
Derek just threatened to stab me on live internet radio.
I threatened to hit you with a chair,
That's all right. You didn't threaten to maim me.
but I have a
I
problem.
won't stab him in a deadly spot.
Wait,
It's
I
fine.
can't. Are you trying to say I can't maim you with a chair? Is that what you're trying to say? I think Jey Uso would disagree because his gimmick is getting the shit beat out of him by Kevin
How about
Owens.
this? I
with
have
a
this in my
chair.
notes right now. Jey Uso had black tape on his left leg so he'd remember which side was hurt. And then he's down beside the ring and he's telling the wrong freaking foot whenever he's trying to get up. Like, are you kidding me?
Listen,
Well,
we got way too much Jey Uso in that TLC match, but we'll talk about that
Way
later. I'm
too
sure.
much.
And then listen, let's keep talking about it. I mean, I know that we were supposed to be talking about Monday Night Raw and their call to action by USA Network, but I mean, let's just talk about WWE as a whole, man. Fuck it. I'm gonna tell you what, SmackDown was a dumpster fire too. You're gonna give me 2 hours of television and 90 minutes of it's Roman Reigns. Come on, bro.
I don't know.
on.
I like.
Listen,
truth be
what's
told, it's the better part of the show.
It
He's the
is.
better part of the show.
It is, but the same thing that they did before by ramming him down our throat when he was the savior and the baby face, they're
Yeah.
doing now is he's a heel, and it's making me despise the angle.
Who would
Let me
you
throw this
rather
out there.
watch?
I didn't watch SmackDown this week, right?
I did.
But if you're going to tell me that Roman Reigns was featured for an hour, then I would say there was the first beginning monologue was at least 15 minutes of Roman Reigns telling me how he was the head of the table. And then about 20 minutes later, Jey Uso came out and did something stupid and pissed off Roman. And then Roman had to have a talk with him with Paul Heyman. And then he had
Jey
to go
got
out there
beat
and
with a
prove
chair.
himself to do something else. What's that?
He got beat with a chair.
All I'm saying is,
well, yeah. So
It was
it's,
six-
It's,
it was
I don't
six
even need to
segments.
watch SmackDown. I've got
wasn't
it. I've
six. Come
seen it,
on.
apparently,
It was 3.
it was
Six.
definitely at least 5.
It was
they better
3.
figure this shit out.
It was 3.
Opening
Beginning,
segment.
middle, end. It was the
Opening segment.
There
First
was one in the
commercial break.
middle.
Then they had
No.
one. Yep, they had one right after the first commercial break. Then the thing with KO happened, and then later on, Paul Heyman was on, And then at the end of the show, all of them, they all came trotting out again. At least 5.
Okay, so Paul, I didn't count Paul, but okay.
I mean, he's
All
part of
right.
the story, pal.
All right. Is he really though? Like, I feel like I feel like they've washed Paul away at this point. Most of the time, he's just standing back
I
there
mean,
going,
Paul doesn't even say anything anymore. Yeah, it's disappointing.
Well, he
He's
doesn't
like-
really have to either.
he's shocked Paul Bearer at this point.
I want him to, man. Like I've expressed
He
that
says things on
on
the
the show
internet
previous
shows
to that.
afterward.
You know, I really enjoy a Paul Heyman promo.
Speaking of Talking Smack, did you see this shit where all week long they advertised The Rock was going to be on Talking Smack because SmackDown was on FS1 this week? So, and they were going to do Talking Smack right after SmackDown on FS1. Usually Talking Smack is network show the following morning.
Yeah.
They advertised that The Rock was going to be on it all week. Talked about The Rock being on Talking Smack all week. Even Corey Graves said, "Oh, The Rock's going to be on Talking Smack after this show." And they aired an old interview. What kind of shit is that?
A hot shot is what it is.
But is this where we're at right now?
Why would
Yeah.
we? I don't know what they're doing. I've never watched this Talking Smack.
I actually have. It used to be good. It's not.
Is it
anymore.
on the network? Is that where you got to do it?
Yeah, it's on the network.
Whenever I watch the network, I'm looking for boobies. No, I'm just kidding. So
Well, that's probably what USA wants.
yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. What are they gonna have?
They're gonna have the king come back and yell about puppies.
Puppies!
I mean, it'd be more entertaining than the shit we're dealing with right now.
No, it
Oh,
wouldn't be.
man.
I mean,
Come on.
I'm
Get
just
off
saying.
Tom Phillips' ass, would you?
Literally, Tom. Look, Raw would be 100% better right now if they were to fire Tom Phillips and put somebody in there who could talk. Like, I'm tired of watching Tom Phillips stumble over people's names. It's terrible.
I mean,
It's really terrible.
give me Vic Joseph. I mean, put Caleb Braxton out there. I don't know
It's
what.
not Mar, whatever his name is.
Why don't you like
Mauro
Morrow, dude? I love
don't
Morrow.
like it.
I
man.
wish
I
Morrow,
don't like
good
it,
lord,
no.
bring me Morrow Ranallo. Mamma
No.
mia.
But
I'm
it's
just
not
saying,
like
I
I'm not
like
spending
Morrow.
my day around it. Yeah,
And
you're
I'm not
fine.
gonna
I
sit
don't
here and I'm
have
not gonna.
anything like I'm not sitting here saying like he's a freaking horrible person.
No,
I can't stand
you at 1,000,000% are. You're sitting here and you're disparaging the goddamn good name of Mauro Ranallo.
Jesus,
it. Is that what I'm doing?
Jesus. You're disparaging the good name. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia.
He's actually
hell
one that
kind of
when they
person
say
am I?
tope suicida, I don't get pissed off.
Because he actually calls it when it is a tope. Not that.
Oh, there were so many topes
God.
going on today in the Kenny Omega match.
Match of the week, pal.
I wish I
match
would
of
have
the week.
wrote them down. There was a lot of topes.
Well,
It was an excessive amount of tope.
don't make me hope that the COVID takes you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the COVID has taken his sense of
He's got that
wrestling match
fog. He's got
understanding.
that COVID fog.
There's no fog, pal. No fog.
So okay, all right.
No.
Let's put a period on this USA Network.
Yeah,
thing.
let's
Them
let's get
wanting-
to some new
Them
stuff.
wanting some kind of like edgier broadcast. I mean, I agree with that. Look, there was a point in time when Bobby Lashley came out, "I'm gonna beat your butt," and look, they should not give Bobby Lashley the microphone ever again.
That's why they gave him
However-
MVP.
Absolutely. They give MVP the microphone, let him say, "I'm gonna kick your ass, boy." And I love MVP.
I love MVP.
I love the Hurt Business. I love it a lot. And the Hurt Business is out tonight. And I'm into that. I'm into the Hurt Business. And I'm into the fact that they beat the New Day for the championship. I'm just going to throw that in. That was a good match. It wasn't as good as I hoped it was going to be, but it was a good match. And, yeah, I really like the Hurt Business. And more of that. Also, to kind of toss back to other things that they could do on Raw. I do feel like the third hour needs to be a little less silly, be a little more edgy. And I'm not saying like violence edgy, but they could show some color. People can bleed. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, clearly we're in a pandemic. Maybe not. Maybe it needs to be fake blood. I don't know.
Yeah, that might kind of piss some people off.
Yeah,
Currently.
but then you sit back and you insult the intelligence of us as fans by doing some dumb shit like that.
What was fake blood dumb?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're not going to do it well, so why are they even
I like
going to
fake
do
blood.
it? They're just not going to do it well. That's what it comes
Okay,
down to.
blood. Look, okay, maybe do real blood. Look, I guess bleeding's been a thing forever. I don't know that I want anybody to get hepatitis, and if they're not cool with it, maybe not.
I mean, it's their fault they don't have a shot yet.
Okay. I mean,
We don't have a hepatitis shortage shot.
You're right.
It's a COVID shot you can't get. Get the fuck out of here.
Derek, God damn, burning me up. I'm wireless, people. I'm wireless.
I love
Tom-
the new Tom.
Tom's gonna end up like one of these
The
days, like,
wireless
just
Tom.
flipping out and like throwing his steel chair through his window and like walking down the steps, forgetting that he's not
You're
wired.
gonna go ahead. You're gonna
Oh,
need a
these
new monitor
guys.
and headset just on standby for whenever you eventually smash them through each other.
So, I mean, I don't know how edgy it goes. Like I said, look, they would have The Fiend or just Bray Wyatt.
Dude, the Fiend match.
Fake hit.
You hated it.
Fake hit Alexa. What, me? No, actually. So, I didn't hate it. No, actually. I thought it was fine. It wasn't, like, amazing. I did like that they lit him on fire at the end. So, here's the thing. So if this becomes Randy Orton's thing, where he just starts lighting people on fire now, because he really liked it, and he's sick, he's a sick human. This is a huge win. I would love to watch Randy Orton light like fucking, whomever on fire. Just let him light whatever. Jeff Hardy.
I'd like to see him
Jeff
light
Hardy.
Tom Phillips on fire personally.
Yes. Oh my God. Can you light Tom Phillips on fire?
Well, no, because you can't recreate Tom Phillips as a pile of laundry in the middle of the ring.
I mean, are you sure? Wrap him in a sack or something.
Not unless Tom Phillips starts
It was
wearing a
bad.
mask.
There was a lot of horrible cuts in that.
They can
And
wrap
listen,
Tom
cinematic
Phillips
match.
in a sack, pre-tape it, wrap him in a sack, have Randy beat him up, RKO him, wrap him in a sack, dump lighter fluid on the sack, and then burn it.
They kept going with gasoline during the whole match. That's what really was irritating as well. Like, it's not gasoline. We're not stupid.
Maybe it was
If I
carrot.
poured that much gasoline, no, it's not even that. It's got to be okay. So
It's
I thought
probably
as well,
that
it could be
working
kerosene,
gasoline.
but they would never want to like Randy Orton laid in that stuff whenever he had to lay down into it for the chair thing. But then they cut out, and it was a different chair because there was like blood or red wax or something. I don't know, all over the chair that was on fire big time. If you actually, pay attention to the different cuts, it was weird. After Randy jumped out of the chair, it was covered in fire, but blood or something all over it. Not the same chair.
All I'm
Like,
saying
No,
is,
you're right.
all I'm saying is that in 1999, we got our very first look at the Inferno match with Kane and the Undertaker, and those flame rigs were not behind the barricade; they were all around the ring, and those guys were in it to win it. They could have got caught on fire at any point in time during that match on accident. And as soon as they had it all set up around the perimeter of the barricade, I was like, "Oh, here we go. You're gonna PG this on us right out the rip. You're not even gonna give it." It was the whole thing was trash. The coolest part.
What do you want to do in this year?
The coolest part was the Fiend getting a flaming RKO. You're gonna put. You want me to suspend disbelief, and you want to send these guys down and they're not in their actual ring gear, and you want me to believe this? Come on, man. It's just continue. They just continue to insult our intelligence as fans, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
I'm a really stupid fan,
Tom.
and I liked it. I'm a really stupid fan, and I liked it.
To each their own, pal.
So okay, so yes,
with
I agree with what you're saying, Walt, with the insult the intelligence and the like. But I mean, what? Look,
It's a fucking Firefly Inferno match.
so here's what took it. Here's what killed me. Here's what killed it for me, because it was like, if I would have watched this match on mute, it would have been a lot better. But in watching the match with audio on and listening to Tom Phillips, the problem was that like commentary sold it like it was real for a minute. Like the whole match itself and like the thing around the match was like, oh, you win by lighting your opponent on fire. And that was the stipulation, right? That was the stip. However, once like the Fiend catches on fire, charges in to try to mandible claw Randy Orton, and then eats a on fire RKO, which only that killed him, right? Like the Fiend was not he was impervious to pain and damage prior to that. However, the on fire thing managed to like burn away the magic, and that RKO killed him, right? So he just laid there like a corpse or like a dummy.
That's what it was.
And at that point, Randy could just pour like wet on him, which I don't know if you've ever been out cold and had somebody pour wet on you, but that wakes you up. It really does, unless you're like really, really like concussed, which he's not. He was not. Anyway,
Did you watch the match? I mean, surely he was.
All right. Listen.
he was not.
Come on, guys.
No.
There was a dumpster fire.
Anyway, hold on. And then Randy throws. So look, I think they were looking for the spectacle of Randy going, boom, boof. They were looking for that, right?
I mean, they got it.
And look,
No, they didn't.
Look, if I'm
got it.
if I'm suspending disbelief, that was cool. It was a cool shot. I like that it was pre-taped. They obviously didn't really kill Bray Wyatt. Like, there wasn't actually murder. However, the only way this continues to be cool is if Randy continues to do this.
I mean,
He just burns everyone.
that's a
And then I'll
possibility.
be fun.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
I want to see that.
Well, here's what I wrote down about the match for that one in particular. It's almost like the match before that, and obviously, like you've already said, it was pre-taped, so it's not like it was done in successive order. But the previous match before that, which was Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, they went all out on that. And this particular match, it was just so like, Randy, don't do it. It's so just
because the match
phoned in.
before that
They
was a
don't
SmackDown
push.
match. It wasn't a Raw match.
Well, I didn't.
Two
know
totally
that.
different sets of personality.
I didn't even think about that. Sorry,
mean, I'm just
sir.
saying.
Please move
So
on, fellas, and
let's put a bow on the USA Network here. I think that at the end of the day, they are absolutely correct to ask for a more edgy product. I feel like we've lived in this PG era long enough, and it's time to put something out there that the adult fans are going to gravitate towards, because everybody wants to sit here and say that AEW is the professional wrestling for adults. That's the yesteryear, and it's just as much of a dumpster fire as WWE is. So where are we at? Because something's got to change somewhere, and whether it's the creative team or Vince needs to take a good hard look at himself, which I'm sure is probably something that needs to happen, but something needs to change. And hopefully this call to action by the USA Network is going to give us something that we're going to actually want to sit down, watch, and enjoy every Monday night, because what they're doing now isn't working for anybody. And that's just what I got to say about that.
I like Raw sometimes, but I agree. Vince needs to get himself out of it. And I have a cat on my lap. There's a level of bad that comes with commentary, and I feel like that's part of the problem with Raw, is that the commentary is so bad that it pulls you out of any good that anybody is doing in the ring. And I don't know if that's Vince's fault, if that's Tom Phillips' fault, but somebody needs to be better at calling the action, and not only calling the action, but selling the action and selling the story, because it sure sounds like what they're doing isn't coherent to anything else that's going on. They're in the dark as much as we are, if not more, and if they're not in the dark, then Tom Phillips is drunk. So, yeah.
Something's got to give with
basically,
Monday Night
fellas,
Raw.
if I'm sitting down to watch some wrestling, and let's say I haven't watched anything yet for the week, I've got everything available to me. The last thing I'm picking to watch is Raw. So,
I don't know if it's the
100%.
last thing I'm picking, but
well,
second to
I'm
last,
not
really.
including Impact, and Dynamite's not that bad. Don't give me that shit.
Well, in Tom's opinion, Dynamite's the drizzling
Oh.
shits. So
Oh, get out of
Oh,
here!
I mean,
like
I'm just
that.
saying.
Give it a chance.
I
Raw's been the drizzling shits for how many years?
Speaking of the drizzling shits, hey Tom, I gotta take your opinion here. Cody made a pretty controversial tweet for Star Wars fans this
fuck
week.
Cody Rhodes. God damn that piece of shit, motherfucker.
He ranked the Star Wars stuff
Do you have
out
that
there.
up?
Apparently not
You have
to.
that in front of you?
I don't have it up, but
Hold
I knew that I had to see it.
Hold on. I have it. I shared it. Where the hell is that? Stop talking to me, guys. Why are you always talking to me and I can't find the shit I shared to you? God. It's like you guys are my friends or something.
I got it right here.
Okay, here we go.
So he ranked Star Wars
Live
from
reaction.
1 to 14. Number 14 being Rogue One, 13 Phantom Menace, 12 Solo, 11 Rebels,
Whoa.
10 Rise of Skywalker,
Whoa.
9 Attack of the Clones, 8 Clone Wars,
Stop.
7 Mandalorian,
Pause.
6 A New Hope. I'm not pausing. I want to let you go.
Damn it, go.
5 Return of the Jedi, 4 The Force Awakens, 3 Revenge of the Sith, 2 The Last Jedi, and number 1 is The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, he's right with Empire.
Well, that's right, at least.
I'll give him that one.
Are you Empire?
I mean, that's fine.
I'm not gonna argue Empire. His number 2, come on. All right, I'm on Cody's Twitter. Hold on. I'm pulling this list right now because, oh my God, here it is. All right, 1, Empire. He's not wrong. 2, The Last Jedi. First of all, fuck him for that. 2, The Last Jedi. Look, Cody's not allowed to watch Star Wars anymore, and I'm in charge of saying that. The Last Jedi was the biggest piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my life. Not just Star Wars movie. Piece of shit movie. Oh, they tried to subvert your expectations. Fuck your expectations, man. Like, fuck that movie. Literally, it was hot garbage from start to finish. It was all like, but wait, I've got a surprise. It's not like that's stupid. That's the stupidest, laziest writing ever. It's like like watching like a drunk baby walk into walls. That's The Last Jedi is like. I watched it and I'm like, well, it was a pretty movie, but I'm pretty sure it was terrible the whole way through. It made no sense at all.
Tom, I'm sorry. Can we maybe make a movie about drunk babies walking into walls?
It would have been better than The Last Jedi.
I would watch that shit. That
Because it
at
would have been
least
better
for
than The Last
5 to
Jedi.
10 minutes, that would be funny.
Yeah, it wasn't The Last Jedi.
Other than the whole
not funny.
scenario of their drunk babies, maybe just small midgets that are movie magic. They look like baby.
Would have been better.
Just move
Right.
on. Walt's gonna edit this out. I'm sorry.
Okay. Revenge of the Sith is fine. It's certainly not number 3, but it's just fine. It's the most okayest of the prequel trilogy. The Force Awakens is fine. It's a setup. It's not really even a whole movie. It's just a setup. Return of the Jedi is fine. I'd probably put it somewhere around 5. A New Hope, whatever. Mando, first of all, should be like number 1 or 2. Clone Wars should be number 2. Attack of the Clones is like number 13. Rise of Skywalker is like number 12. Rebels is like number 4-ish. Look, Cody's drunk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He just randomly numbered these to piss me off. And quite frankly, if Cody's booking what he's doing, Cody's a drunk idiot. Look, Cody put a stupid tattoo on his neck. Okay?
Yeah,
really
Brady makes bad life decisions.
Cody makes bad decisions, and this list is a bunch of bad decisions. Cody's a bad life decision, and this is it. Cody's making bad decisions.
I mean,
one decision
decision baby with Brandy. That's great.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say
them.
They're
That is good stuff.
that's
Well,
good.
congrats to them.
They're very happy.
I'm sure that
I didn't
made
mean to
him
shit all over him. I'm sure he's a hell of a nice guy. From what I've heard from
No,
Jericho Cruise people that I know and everything, he's nice
I mean,
as can be.
I'm
But
sure his baby's going
unless
to be
you're
good at
a
wrestling.
unless you're a producer for AEW, then you get treated like shit.
Cody thinks you're a creepy weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
well, don't be a creepy weirdo.
Right. I mean, I'm
It's not
sure
hard.
Cody's son will be a good wrestler.
So
I'll watch him.
since we're talking about AEW, let's talk about AEW. First of all, I'm not mad at how they're booking Sting.
Really?
No.
Really, I'm not. I'm not at all. I've seen 3 segments so far.
At this point, I'm still happy to just see Sting. I'm good
Really?
with it.
I mean, I'm going to be interested to watch this train wreck
Yeah.
that's going to happen between him and Darby Allin, though. That's not going to be good for anybody involved.
Okay. I'm not interested, but go on.
I'm just saying they're doing it. They're doing it right. You know, I was concerned with how
Right?
they were going to do it. I think that they're doing it. They're keeping that Sting mystique, and that's all that anybody can ask
I
for
mean, if
right
you
now.
hate it, there's no way that we can really probably sell it. Really, it's just more that you just gotta appreciate what it was, and it's back again. I guess it's the
I
real
mean,
thing. It's not really. There's no selling it.
least-
It's not like he's done anything. It's just
At
do you
least
like
he's not in a
Sting
wheelchair.
or not?
Well, I mean, and then
I
you
mean,
still have like
shit.
you still have shit things on AEW. Like, who gave SCU a live mic this week? Like, who thought that was a
me.
good
Oh,
idea?
man.
Who thought that was a good idea? That was trash.
SCU.
Oh, it was terrible. Who did that? And then the dumb rap battle with the Acclaimed. Fast
Okay,
forward, please.
okay. I'm sorry, because I have to say this. AEW is the worst thing I've ever watched in my entire life. It's really
You watched a
it's
really
not-
horrible episode.
It's not even good television, let alone good wrestling. It's not. It's
No.
bad.
This
It's-
week was not good television.
It's
at all.
occasionally like the worst thing I've ever seen. Not only so. All right, like I've watched a lot of bad television in my lifetime. Like I'm a child of the '90s. I've watched a lot of VH1. I've watched a lot of MTV. I've watched a lot of reality television because I stay up too late. And AEW is routinely they put on some of the worst segments I've ever seen in my life in all of wrestling ever. And I've watched enough Impact, and I watched a lot of WCW. AEW might be the worst wrestling product as a whole in the history of the sport. And
It's beating Monday Night Raw, pal.
it's not, though.
Truth.
Eyeballs were on it, but there aren't eyeballs watching it. There's like, oh my god, there's
But
more
there
kids that
are
are 18
in the correct
watching it.
demographics. That's what matters.
I don't give a shit about. No, it doesn't. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
does.
Look,
You can't just fucking take that out of there and like it doesn't matter. How is that?
okay.
That's
Well,
that's what I'm wanting to buy. If I'm
The worst
selling you a
Raw-
TV
The
show,
worst Raw ever had 2 times as many people watching it as
So?
AEW this week. It was 2 times as many. It was like 50% more people. Look, you can't tell me like, well, the right demographics voted for this presidential candidate. However, this presidential candidate got
well, no.
twice as many
But I'm
votes.
not selling the
That's
vice
not how
president in a.
works.
I'm not selling a president on fucking Snickers bars over here. Like I'm over here, like, hey, I'm trying to sell you Skittles, or well, I probably and
was-
Kalamazoo.
Right, look,
bars
my
over here.
eyeballs haven't recovered yet. They fucking open ass shitted into my eyeballs this week. It was terrible. And not only open it. Look, okay. I don't want to talk about this yet. Can we talk about?
No,
Our
you should. This is what we do.
Oh,
This is where we're at.
the week. I tell you what, dude.
Do good stuff. What's the thing?
I mean, I'm good to talk about match of the week, but I mean, I got one thing that I need to say, and hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with anybody's match of the week. But you know, everybody's pissed off that Bayley beat Bianca Belair this week. I think it was the right decision.
Yes. Only because I watched the match and it was a good match.
I thought the match was trash.
No, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
I hated everything
God damn
this
it,
week.
Walt. God damn motherfuckers.
I'm just saying,
Honestly,
pal.
where I'm at is I didn't even realize that it happened because I watched NXT. You know what the hell is that?
Rocket Raccoon. He doesn't make sounds anymore, but he would be shooting you right now.
I'm just saying. I don't. I think the decision to beat her was well placed. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, how do you beat Bianca Belair with Bayley on a losing streak?" Yeah, she's lost 2 matches, and they were both championship matches.
Bianca Belair has been shit on the entire time she's been on the Raw roster. And now we
She
move
found
her
her
to
place,
SmackDown.
man.
Shut the fuck up for a minute.
Jobbing?
So you move her to SmackDown, and you think that she's going to do something decent, and then here we are, back to losing and jobbing again. That's
I
nice.
mean, are you going to sacrifice your number 1 heel in your women's division on the SmackDown side of things?
Can she take one? Yeah.
To an
She
up
can
and comer?
take one. It's
She
gonna
took
be
2
fine.
already, pal.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, bud. There's nothing wrong with that booking decision, and if you're in the
Everything
the
is wrong
class
with
of
the booking
people,
decision whenever
you
you
think
build
you-
up a specific person so that she can be a kingmaker, if you could say that, a queenmaker, I guess. And then she's not going to be
What
able
does
to
she
take
do?
offense.
She fucking kisses her ass and twirls her hair around. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get
No, I'm
outta
talking about
here.
Bailey.
Oh.
Listen.
Well, then what are you bitching about? Because I'm sitting here putting Bailey over.
I thought it was a good match. I didn't hate it. I'd watch it again. I'm ready for match number 2. I felt like this was part 1 in a several match storyline, and I will watch it more. And I'm hoping they put on a banger in 1 of 3. This one wasn't the banger. It was okay.
All right, Josh. Match of the week. Where are we at? Derek, you want to go first since,
No,
No.
I'm first.
No, it's
I'm
Tom.
first. I'm
Okay,
first
Tom.
because I'm going to cuss at both of you motherfuckers. Anyway, my match of the week was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it was phenomenal. It was a great match from start to finish. Look, I love this KO character. I love it. I think everything that KO is doing in the ring and character-wise, not only character-wise like in the ring, but also character-wise in the ring, it's a nuanced thing, and it's good. And it's especially pronounced because they're in the Thunderdome. There's no real fans there. KO is the kind of guy that sort of thrives in this environment, as does Roman. I really feel like that's kind of been the just very crux of all of this, and it's storytelling wise, and it's everything. The only thing I don't like about it is that like Jey Uso's role in all of this seems to be getting beaten to a pulp with a chair, and that seems to be a recurring theme. And it's like every time something like this happens, like, oh, KO's going to beat Jey Uso to a pulp with a chair, and that was fine. Truthfully, it looked good every time.
I think we got too much Jey Uso in that match.
It was fine. Look,
Way too much days, though.
I think the point was that, it wasn't necessarily KO versus Roman 1-to-1, but we're going to get that now in a steel cage here on Friday. But it was just like, KO versus Roman in that TLC match, and Jay kept interjecting, and Jay got beat to death with the chair again, but that let Roman, get back into it, and Roman was sort of always in charge of the match, but there kept being interjections in it. There was a point in time in that match where KO looks at him like, "You're gonna have to kill me," and to me that hit me as a
the part where there was an obvious shoulder injury ready to happen whenever he busted through the.
You're gonna have to kill me, and you heard Kevin say that, and I was taken aback by that, and I really felt like that was sort of the embodiment of everything that's going on within this storyline. Look, I'm not necessarily a work rate kind of guy. I want to see storylines happen in a match. I want to see that banter back and forth. The biggest and most important thing for me within this COVID era of wrestling is that I could hear the banter in the match, what's going on. Kevin Owens has always been the best at that for me, and I mean Roman Reigns, truth be told, has also become the best at it.
100%.
A year ago, 2 years ago, you would have said that to me, but get the fuck out of here. I don't believe that at all.
I'm with you on that.
Oh my god. Oh my, when Roman says something in a match, I'm like, I believe it. Not only do I believe it, I'm like, oh my god. I'm 100% on board. I don't care that it's kind of like, oh, well, Jey Uso gets beat by a chair. Like, that sort of, to me, is like, I know it's coming, but it's part of it, and it works out. So that, for me, was the best match of the week.
Had a
And
really good story, man. It got me. They got me a couple of times. They got me a couple of times. I thought for sure that KO was going to win that at 1 or 2 points in that match.
I thought so too.
And afterwards, like, they did such a good job that after the match was over and Roman won, I was like visibly disappointed. Like, I could feel it. Like, I was just so disappointed that KO didn't win that match because they told that story next level.
That to me was the thing that really stuck with me. The only other thing that I want to point out, and it was also from TLC, is Sasha versus Carmella, and that to me really stood out because look, I understand that Sasha can put on a good match, and Derek, you're going to disagree with me on that, but I'm a big Carmella fan, and I feel like this may have been Carmella's best outing yet.
I mean, it was fine. She did good.
Even despite her long title run.
I was hoping that she would actually get the win tonight, but
I knew you were. I knew you would. But I mean, I felt like it was a good match. It was
a lot of good action, a lot of false finishes. I could have done without the Reginald stuff though.
Okay. The frog splash, though, the Eddie Guerrero frog splash, that was for me very good. And to beat it with the bank statement, I think the backstabber and the bank statement to me is the best combo finisher in wrestling. And yeah, so that's my like runner up. But yeah, Kevin versus Roman was good. That might be the best match I've seen.
Kevin versus Roman was it was such a hot start. I mean,
that's probably the best
memorable.
match I've seen.
As soon as it come on, it was time.
I mean, that might be the best match I've seen in 6 months. I mean, and AJ versus
and that was all right.
The Miz,
honestly, I hated the Miz. I feel like he ruined it.
That's it.
I made it legitimate.
We were all sort of watching it at the same time, and I agree with you that the Miz's interjection into that kind of mucked that up for me. That was really good. I really liked the finish on that one, but otherwise, I mean, I felt like that was really good too. I feel like they just had the money in the bank for so long that they had to cash it in. Oh my God, it's the last pay-per-view of the year. We got to do this because we've been mucking around with this. But that still went. It wasn't bad, and that to me was like the other one that was like TLC this year was way better than like the last 3 TLCs.
Yeah, it's been way better than I ever would have expected for this year.
Yeah.
But here's my thing with the ladder matches. I love Money in the Bank. That's going to be my favorite pay-per-view match of all time. Money in the Bank's great. But it's a great ladder match because it's more than 2 people. And I came into the pay-per-view thinking this. The first match, AJ, it made that very clear to me. Like, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking it would be. It's going to suck because of that. But Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in a ladder match, just 1v1, was actually awesome. They timed everything well. It wasn't ridiculously like, oh, this ladder's so tough to get up, and I'm waiting on someone to come and pull me down. Yeah,
that's a hard. Yeah.
That's why Money in the Bank is such a great concept because you've got 7, 8 guys in there, however many it is at one time, trying to pull everybody down. So it kind of makes a lot more sense. You don't have these big lulls and trying to actually like, oh, I don't know how buckles work. How do I pull this?
Can't. How do I? So, what was your match of the week then, Big Dog?
So, well, I was gonna go with your Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns.
You can go for it.
No. I mean, I guess
it was.
It was. No, it was. It absolutely was. And Walt's over there
Walt, get out of here.
Just getting all over me. Look at you. What? What do you have to say? Go on.
I'm just listening, pal.
He wants to make me mad. Go on, Derek. I gotta hear because Walt and I gotta fight here.
Basically,
You got me.
I mean, I've got nothing crazy else to go on other than, I mean, the
Oh.
yeah. So basically, if I was gonna say, I'd go with Rhea Ripley and Tony Storm. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match at all. I mean, if I've got to pick
It
something
was
other
good.
than what's that?
It was good. It was
Yeah,
delicious.
yeah. I was way
Mm.
into it. I mean, it was solid. It wasn't something that, it was gonna write home about, but I was entertained, and that's what matters. I was definitely happy with it. Um,
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. I enjoyed it, and
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think that I didn't really care for the screwy finish, but I mean it served its purpose, and it's going to set us up to get that Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley feud that I think that we're all after, and it's definitely put Tony Storm in a place to be the heel that knocks off Io Shirai.
dude, Rhea Ripley just has the best women's interests in NXT. That's what's up. Is
That big stomp with the fire is
Yeah,
ooh
it's
baby.
good stuff.
I'm a big fan of. We mentioned 4 women there. Rhea, ooh, great. Tony Storm, baby, great. And honestly, prefer Tony Storm as a heel. True story.
Yeah, I'm having a
It's
good time with this.
it's growing on me.
Yeah.
Io, I kind of like Io as a heel better. Her like tweener babyface Stone Cold thing is, I don't know. It's time for her to lose the championship, but I fucking love Io. Good lord, so good. Right? How could you not like? Oh, there's gonna be Io Shirai match. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna watch that because it's gonna be great. And yeah, Raquel has been. I want to say like the last 4 weeks, my top match of the week.
Yeah.
So gotta love it. Loves me some NXT babies. What were your matches?
My matches of the
Now's
week.
where we get to the good part.
So my matches of the week, we pretty much already all talked about.
We're so
Rhea
upset.
Ripley and Tony Storm. Definitely,
Wonderful.
it was a good match. It was a great match.
Good match.
I wasn't mad at
Wonderful.
the match. And then Mella and Sasha at TLC was really solid. Like I said, I could have done without the Reginald BS at the end. But honestly, my match of the week was Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, just based on the story that they told. It was good. It was good stuff. There was nothing. there was nothing. I'm getting there. There was nothing in that match that I didn't love, like, and or appreciate. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna throw this out here. Based on what I saw last night at TLC, Kevin Owens is gonna win the Royal Rumble, and he's going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship.
I'd be good with
Calling
that
it.
at that point. It'd
I
be
see it.
believable.
I believe it. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be pretty salty about it because I think that that's the only way that this can end, because we're not going to get The Rock at WrestleMania because
No.
he wants to come back with a full roster of folks. And guys, we're officially in WrestleMania season, so
Are we on the road? We're on
Is
the
that the
road.
deal? Is that
We're on the
really
road.
what's up?
It's
Like, you've
it's the
seen that?
road. We're on the
Rock
road,
says
boys.
no.
yeah, The Rock says he will only come back if there are people in the stands, and we're to the point where you have to take your top act and you have to start building a long-term storyline towards WrestleMania. And
Sure.
The Rock is very non-committal, so
So it's at least another year
I would say
in
it's at least
storyline.
another year. So, and I've been teasing this all week that I felt like Kenny Omega and Joey Janela was the match of the week. It was a shitty match. There was nothing. There was nothing to it. But what it did do is something that I have not seen from AEW since their inception, and it set you up for the next piece of the story. And I really enjoyed the fact that we finally got a little bit of a story told from AEW. At least one that I can see and one that I can appreciate, and that was with the setup for the Ray Phoenix match. Because the whole thing was, oh well, Kenny Omega wouldn't have beat Joey Janela. Get the hell out of here! Joey Janela is a trash bag of a competitor. Okay, And I'm glad that Don Callis came out and was ripping on his pigtails, because that was the most ridiculous thing ever. And I don't want to sit here and I don't want to bash on Joey Janela, because it is what it is at this point, and these guys are out there doing this, and we don't know what that life's like, and it's easy for us to sit here and talk this shit. But as fans, I know what we appreciate and what we respect, and that's just not really it. So I actually feel like the match between Rey Fenix and Kenny Omega actually has a lot of potential to it, and I'm kind of excited to see it. So we know that Kenny's going to win, and eventually we're gonna get to the Pac Kenny Omega thing, and I think that if the timing lines up and everything's right, that they're going to put the title on Pac, and I think that this is where we're going to see next level shit from AEW, and I hope I'm right, because everything that was put in front of us this week, from my perspective, in my opinion, was just a giant dumpster fire that got gasoline poured on it night after night, hour after hour, minute after minute. I didn't enjoy anything this week. I really didn't.
Honestly, I hope you're right, because what I had written down for notes was that they hot shot everything that's going on. Like, why are you just running Kenny Omega through different competitors every week? There's no storyline behind anything. Like, tonight we got Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela coming out there for what? Not tonight, but last week.
Here's the thing. Like, I joked about this all week, like that this was my match of the week. But all reality, the match was terrible.
All right, I need to talk about this. Stop. Pause.
Tom's over there like foaming at the mouth.
I'm seething. Seething. Okay. First of all, number one, Joey Janela walks out with his dumbass pigtails, looking like shit. Look, the man's been off for weeks. Could have dieted. Could have worked out. No. McDonald's, cheeseburgers,
and beer.
And
cigarettes.
Didn't do a push-up.
No.
Look, boys. I can do.
Me neither. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I can do 65 push-ups in a row. Here, me. And that's just so I don't have a heart attack and die. Okay. I want to be able to lift my little girl up. Fucking this fat motherfucker walks out here like making $1 million a year, whatever he's making. He's making $10 a year. Fuck him. He maybe lives in his car. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So he walks out here in his piggy tails, to like be the main event on a TV show. Not only that, okay, the first like up to commercial break of this show was just garbage of Twinkle Toes Big Finger Bang, Mr. fucking Kenny Omega, the world champion.
Twinkle Toes.
He's not a world champion. Kenny Omega sucks. Why does he suck so much? Let me walk around like this when I do my fucking wrestling. Fuck him. And it's not wrestling. Oh my god, it's terrible. I can't stand to watch this man. And then to watch begin with, like okay, so it comes in, and it's okay. It's a no disqualification match, right? No DQ, because that's all Joey Janela can do. That's kind of all Kenny Omega can do too. It's like it's got to be no. We got to make this a trash. We got to make this
the cookie sheet was nice.
Oh, I'll get to that. I'm not there yet.
Sure.
We got to make this. We got to make this a match that's just such garbage that like we can cover all of the like fat boy Joey Janela and like Twinkle Toes McFinger Bang bullshit. Like we got to cover it as it's a no DQ match, because Joey Janela can't have a straight up wrestling match because he just can't. Really, neither can Kenny Omega unless somebody's carrying him. Kota Ibushi is not here in AEW, therefore they cannot do this match.
Are you good, pal?
No.
Breathe, Tom. Breathe.
Anyway, so we move on with this garbage match. Joey Janela comes out with holding a garbage can, which signifies how the rest of the match is going to go. Trash. At some point during the clusterfuck of what the beginning of the match was, Joey Janela sells getting hit by what is more or less a aluminum foil pan.
Yes.
It was aluminum foil. Look, I hit my kids with aluminum foil and they think it's funny.
It was a cookie pan. Cookie pan.
It
At
was
least give him that.
it was an aluminum foil.
It was
cookie pan.
probably steel.
No, it was aluminum foil. Anyway, and he just sell it, and at that point, I kind of felt bad for him. And then there was a point later in the match where Joey Janela was looking for something under the ring that he didn't find. It just wasn't there. He was looking like, what? Where's my dildo? I don't know. That's what he's looking for. Was just a big rubber
Jesus.
dildo. He was gonna
Joey?
beat him with a dildo. Maybe it was a styrofoam dildo. I don't know.
We're not on at 10 o'clock. We're on at 8. You better settle.
Yeah, but it was the main event. They had dildo time. So, and then after that, he somehow gets Kenny Omega onto a table, and then gives him the worst leg drop I've ever seen in my life through said table.
Dude, he sat on his face. It wasn't
He
even
It was an ass to mouth, is what it was.
Yes. It
And
was
then
ass to mouth. Human
to
centipede style.
to which Kenny Omega sprung up as though he was taking Viagra and he was a penis, because he is a penis. He sprung up, boom, hopped in the ring with Joey, kneed him twice to the face, one-winged angel, which is still the dumbest move in wrestling, and then he and Don Callis got on the mic and were dicks about it. They were being dicks about it earlier. Look, Don Callis was the best part of this match, but the rest of the match was such hot, wet garbage.
I disagree. I disagree. Tony Schiavone was the best part of the match when he told
You're right.
Don Callis to kiss his ass and get out of his face.
That was great. Honestly, Tony Schiavone should have actually taken his chair. Should have got up off the chair that he was sitting on, because it's one of these bad boys. He should have got up on the chair, and he should have taken the chair and walked up to Kenny Omega and hit him in the head really hard. And then also hit Joey Janela in the head really hard. And then hit Don Callis really hard with the chair.
Is that one of the official chairs from the Pittsburgh show?
No, this is actually, I bought this at Walmart for like $8.
No, that's the same thing then. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I don't like AEW, and I don't want to watch it anymore. So I would prefer it if, instead of making me watch AEW, you took a chair like this and you hit me in the head really hard so that I was just knocked unconscious. You could put AEW on, and I didn't watch it because I was unconscious because of the head contusion, and I didn't have to watch it because it's the worst fucking thing on television. And please stop. Can we cancel AEW?
Match of the week, pal. On that note,
take us home.
Derek, I just wanted to say
I gotta
thank you for
speak
rocking.
after that? Are you serious?
No. We don't reward stupidity around here. Okay, with your stupid talk earlier. Okay.
Wow.
But I will shout you out because you wore our brand new T-shirt.
It's a good T-shirt. I like that you went with neon green. I went with purple.
You know,
Which is-
I was playing around earlier because I got a new camera and I was testing it out, and I turned on the green screen mode, and I wasn't thinking. Yeah, boys, literally just everything was here, and I was like, well, it works really good for that small space. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen back here, but right here, HD baby.
Good shit. Good shit. All right. Well, yeah. So make sure you follow us on social media. You know, at @1_FallWC on both Twitter and Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're on YouTube. But if you're listening to us, which so many of you do, and we really, really, truly appreciate that. Please feel free to donate to help out the show. That would be much obliged, so that we can.
Wait,
continue.
there's donations?
Yeah.
When did that start happening?
A couple weeks ago. I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks.
We need to share that.
So,
my mommy might give us money.
Oh well, then yeah, definitely. The link to the donation thing is in every episode description, fellas. So, yeah, check that out. That would be awesome.
I'll share it with my mommy.
Buy some of our shit. The link for our merchandise is in every episode description. Until next time, it's all love. We'll see you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
What for?